also memorize your scripture? Anybody remember memorize Galatians 5:14? Anybody? One? Very nice. Do you care to say that to the class? The entire law is summed up in one command. We'll put it on the screen for you since you didn't memorize it. Love who? As? You guys are so, you've ruined your spirituality with me. We were so spiritual by reading our devotions. We just can't memorize the scripture. We're doing a lot of love for our community, for our neighbors. And if you didn't get your random acts of kindness last week, you can get that this week. This is at the info center on your way out. Most of these are free. Some of them cost a little money buying your, somebody in line's food or whatever. Hopefully with a bent towards those that don't know Christ. We want you to do that and do as many of those random acts of kindness as possible. Because listen, if we don't do it, or only a fraction of us do it, who's going to do it? And so we want to do those random acts of kindness. We're also going to do a major food drive for the Elk Grove Food Bank, and we're going to try to stock the food bank with a bunch of food and clothing. We have small group projects that are coming up. If you're in a small group, you'll know about that. If you're not, we're still going to try to have some projects for you to be a part of. And we're going to take a special offering. At the end of this series, we're going to do a special offering for the Courage House. The Courage House is this idea, this plan. It's in place with a leader, a great leader that's called of God, that we want to get teen prostitutes off the streets here in Sacramento because there are a lot of them, some of them even younger than teenagers. And they've either been sold, abandoned, or pimped out, or whatever it is. And we want to get them out of that because that's a travesty that's happening right underneath our nose. And so we want to get these homeless kids or otherwise off of the street, get them rehabilitated, not only through counseling and through the mental and just a safe aspect and getting a more of a proper perspective because they've been shattered in numerous ways, from the abandonment of their parents to what they've had to go through over these years. We want to get them back on track and even maybe some sort of equestrian horse therapy that's being used a lot as well. My understanding, there's only 4 of these homes across the country, and none of them are Christian. And so this will be a Christian base. It'll be a great thing. So we want to bring our best offering for that. That's at the end. You'll know more about that later on. My family and I are trying to figure out what we want to do, and we want to know stories, that are going on through this City Hope thing, because there's a lot of stories that are floating around, and you've experienced some of this stuff with the signs, with different things that are going on. Email those to Scott Eaton. His email is in your programs, and we want to collect all of those and put them together and maybe even share some of those at our celebration and service at the end of October. So you may be thinking there's a lot of stuff going on, and there is, just with this series. And you're thinking to yourself, as I did, I have a life, and so how am I going to be able to add all of this stuff into my already overcrowded life? And you're not the only one that's thought that. Many people have thought that. But Jesus never said, I'm too busy is an exception to loving your neighbor.